I have browsed through numerous content on air miles rewards like on blogs, articles, videos, podcasts, and many of them have recommended the UOB Preferred Platinum Visa card, or commonly known as the PPV. But you realize that I have not recommended them on my channel or suggested any use for them. And this card didn't even make it into my top credit card list or the top air miles credit card list. And you may be wondering, why are other air mile blogs suggesting the use of this credit card, but this Honey Money SG has never recommended it before? So I will explain in this video why I don't use the UOB Preferred Platinum Visa card today. But before that, I'm sure that if you have credit card questions, all these are quite complicated to ask. So come and join us at our 9,000 over members Telegram group to ask your credit card questions, and the community of experts will help guide you there. Join us at Honey Money SG. I think firstly, let's acknowledge why UOB Preferred Platinum Visa is a popular card. On the benefits wise, it gives 10x points or 4 miles per dollar on the following categories like mobile contactless, online shopping, and online entertainment. And it's an entry-level credit card, which means you only need an annual income requirement of $30,000 for Singapore citizens or PRs. The first year annual fee is waived, so you don't have to worry about any annual fees. And from your second year onwards, you may call in or request the customer service to waive the annual fee. And the condition is that you may earn a maximum of 2,000 bonus UNI dollar points. So you see, you get 9x bonus points, right? And 2,000 divided by 9, that is close to $1,110, which is the maximum effective spend that you can use on your UOB PPV per statement month. So any eligible purchases above $1,110 will not earn you 10x points or 4 miles per dollar. And your uni dollars can be converted to 4 miles per dollar at 5,000 uni dollar points, convert to 10,000 air miles. So all this sounds really good, right? Which is why the benefit of using UOB PPV. It's easy for beginners to pick it up, whether it is for your mobile contactless or online shopping. All this will earn 4 miles per dollar. But I'll move on to my second point, why I don't recommend or use this card. Do you know you can get up to $800 of free shares from Weibo this month? And I'm not going to tell you that you need to do some buy trades, because no need. Neither am I going to tell you that you need to fund at least $300 in cash, because also no need. So what I need to do? Very simple. Just fund any amount, even $1 will do, and you will get 3 free shares. Then hold your deposits, do not withdraw for 30 days, and you'll get another 5 free shares. The free shares are totally random from this list, and it could range from $3 to $100 each. So you see, the maximum reward is $800, but at the very minimum, you can get $24. You see, there's really not much to do. Just open an account with my referral link, put in $1, and after 30 days, see your luck. What shares did you get? So use my referral link down below or scan the QR code right here to get your Weibo account today. And let me be very clear that this is for my own personal situation. So if for your personal situation is suitable for you, then go ahead and use it. I'm not hating on this card. I'm just saying why it's not suitable for me or my lifestyle. Firstly, you must acknowledge that UOB PPV will have a $5 minimum spend block, which means that if you spend on a $4.80 transaction on mobile contactless, you will earn 0 points, right? 0. Not even like a few cents of uni dollar points, because the way they calculate the uni dollar points from the UOB PPV card is that they will round it down to the nearest $5 blocks. So if you're less than $5, it will round down to $0, which means you earn nothing. And then maybe you spend like a $9.50 transaction, it will be rounded down to $5, which means you earn 20 miles on the $9.50 transaction. That is so much lesser than 4 miles per dollar. So I would say that if you're spending it on small daily lifestyle purchases, like if you want to pay for your fast food, maybe $7 per meal, or if you just want to buy bread from the grocery store, then you realize that you have this subconscious effort to make it to the nearest $5, just so that you can maximize and optimize the $5 blocks to hit that 4 miles per dollar effectively. And when you're subconsciously doing this thing, you may not feel it, but it's essentially lifestyle inflation. Because what happens when you go to a fast food restaurant and then you pay like $9 for the set meal, and then they ask you whether you want to upsize, you will say yes, because you want to round it up to $10, right? So it may be good for your air miles wallet, but it's definitely not good for your financial independence journey, because lifestyle inflation really sucks. The other thing I don't like about PPV is that it is not counted into the UOB One Account credit card spend criteria, where you have to spend $500 minimally in order to hit that effective 5% per annum interest for the first $100,000. And I've been using that account close to 1 year now. And I understand how good it is giving that monthly interest of over $400. So if you tell me this PPV card can be eligible for the 500 credit card spent on UOB One account, I'll be really thrilled to recommend it, but it is not. That is a fact. So by making your spend on this PPV card, you're also making the opportunity cost where you cannot spend it on either the UOB Ladies or the UOB Evo or the UOB One card, which is also not good for FI because it will also mean you're foregoing your 5% per annum interest on the UOB One account unless you have so much spend. The other thing I don't like about UOB PPV is the online category. It's only limited to online shopping and online entertainment. Your online spend categories will include your merchants from like departmental stores and retail stores, dining and food delivery, entertainment and ticketing. But you realize something important is missing, and that is online travel, because when you pay for your flight tickets or you want to book your hotels online, all this you cannot use PPV because you cannot gain that 10x points or 4 miles per dollar, which makes it a relatively bad card. The next one is a small but essential one where it is a Visa card, which means it cannot be linked to Instagram Amaze because Amaze only accepts MasterCard, so you cannot lower your foreign currency fees if you want to spend it overseas. And finally is the most important one, you will not earn any points for UOB dollar merchants, and this will include your relatively popular lifestyle merchants like Bread Talk, Cold Storage or Giant, which are UOB dollar merchants, and you may not even know, and you just tap your card thinking you'll earn some 10x points or 4 miles per dollar, and you realize 2 days or 3 days after your transaction is posted, you earn nothing. And that is a very sad fact. You have to be really careful on using the PPV. So to sum up why I don't use the PPV is because I think that for the $5 blocks, that is the main struggle. Then you have some other less important things which I feel that there are other alternatives that can match the UOB PPV. But that is not to say that I've never used this card, because I do own this card, and for the past 3 years, I have only used it 2 times. The first time was in 2019 where I have to make payment at a travel agency, and because you heard me saying that online travel is excluded, so I have to head down to the physical outlet on their mobile contactless machine, put that preferred platinum Visa card on my phone, and then tap on the mobile contactless terminal. And since it was a partial payment, I could just make $1,000 payment, and that full $1,000 will be eligible for that 4 miles per dollar. The other time I really used the PPV was at a wedding fair, because I make a down payment for the wedding banquet function where I paid $1,000 and then another $2,000 on another card, and that was in 2022, last year, before men were eligible to apply for the UOB Ladies card. Because you will realize that both of these transactions are travel merchants, and that was what I used my UOB PPV on, the mobile contactless terminal. But coming to this year in 2023, I will talk about why I don't use the UOB PPV card anymore, because I have some good alternatives. Firstly, on the travel spending card, I already have the UOB Ladies Solitaire, which could grant me 2 categories where I could earn 6 miles per dollar on the first $3,000 of spend. And now that travel is a specific category to earn 6 miles per dollar, I could use it to pay travel merchants. I could also use it to pay for hotels or wedding functions. Now, even if you just qualify for the Ladies Pink card, you'll get 6 miles per dollar on your first $1,000 on the eligible category, and I'll recommend you to choose travel, because the rest can be covered by other air miles credit cards like the City Rewards Plus Amaze, which excludes mainly the travel spend and mobile wallet spend. But the rest of the categories like dining, shopping, groceries, online, entertainment, bars, bakeries or food delivery, all these you can use City Rewards Plus Amaze, and the rounding is only up to the nearest $1 instead of the $5 like UOB PPV. So that City Rewards Plus Amaze combo will make a very good generous spend credit card, and you want to pair that with UOB Ladies Solitaire. But if this two is not enough, you can also add one more, which is HSBC Revolution, because this is a direct competitor to UOB PPV with all the good stuff but very less of the bad stuff of PPV. You see, the HSBC Revolution, your first $1,000 on eligible category will get 4 miles per dollar, and it is on both contactless spend and online spend on several whitelisted categories that you can see on this list. And I can challenge you, the HSBC Revolution will work much better than the UOB Preferred Platinum Visa, because their whitelist categories are so wide, and also the rounding is only to the nearest $1 instead of $5. So you can see I don't really fancy the UOB Preferred Platinum card, because I have much better alternatives like UOB Ladies, City Rewards Plus Amaze, and also HSBC Revolution Visa. And if you really want to know what are my top 5 air miles or rewards credit cards, then I can refer you to my previous video right here.